Things are tense in The Bold and the Beautiful now that Paul Hollis Hollister has also ended up dead. He died not long after Tom Starr, and instantly the authorities must make the same connection that we as viewers have already made. These murders are connected and immediately point out to one person, Poppy Nozawa. Two murders, one thing common. These two killings have her and her daughter Luna Nozawa as their primary suspects, although while Poppy is mostly unaware of this, Luna is. The deaths of these two men were the result of someone trying to hide something, maybe related to Luna's real fatherhood. At this point, Tom is adamant that he is Luna's father, and to be honest, I believe him. Paternity testing can never be believed because this is a soap opera. Little clues that hint at Bill Spencer's deception about not being Luna's father start appearing. Yes, Lee Finnegan conducted the DNA test, but I believe Lee did it to make sure the findings were unquestionable. Still, we have our doubts about them, partly because the DIY at-home pregnancy test they use does not even exist in the real world. They could then definitely come up with a technique to rig the exam. So, did Dashing Hollis become entangled in it and end up dead? Poppy had something to hide from both men. It is worth noting that Lee is not a pathologist, thus she would not be down there working in the morgue. Autopsies and postmortems are part of this extremely specialized field of research that is simply not done by regular doctors. Unfortunately, Hollis managed to discover Tom's backpack and some damning evidence therein. It seems that Hollis had come up with a package of letters, which we assume are love letters written by Poppy to Tom many years ago discussing the possibility that Luna was his daughter. It is possible that Tom possessed a duplicate of Luna's birth certificate, proving that he is indeed the father. Even though all we observed in the package of papers appeared to be letters, there may be more. It's easy to follow the dotted line back to Poppy with Tom adamantly claiming to be Luna's father, something from Tom's backpack that only Hollis saw, and both men passing away. Remember how Poppy went crazy when Tom told her he wanted to talk to their kid right before he went on stage? Soon afterwards, we witnessed the powder and gloved hands being added to Tom's blue drink. A few days later, Hollis is attempting to discuss what he discovered in Tom's backpack with Sheila Carter. Here's why it's not Sheila. Sheila was too busy to listen. If she had been the murderer, she would have taken the time to hear what Hollis had to say and tie up any loose ends. Therefore, even if Steffi Forrester is positive Sheila did this, I believe she is probably mistaken. Since Hollis discovered evidence of Poppy's major secret, we anticipate his demise. Although we're not claiming Poppy killed him, someone did murder Hollis in order to serve Poppy's interests. We're not even sure if Poppy requested someone to solve her two issues. However, Jack Finnegan just told his son Finn that he would stop at nothing to help Poppy, nothing. It was someone Hollis and we know. In the end, poor Hollis never had a chance since it appeared like someone he knew, or at least knew enough to recognize, was responsible for his death. It didn't have to be someone he was familiar with, like Brooke, Deacon, or Sheila. It may be Jack, who Hollis would remember from the live music night, or Poppy, whom he has seen at Illinois Giardino. It seemed like Jack had never been there before when they brought him in, based on the dialogue that took place. If that was Bill Spencer showing there, Hollis would know. Perhaps he even recognized Justin as Bill's right-hand man. He would most likely be acquainted with Lee considering he is Poppy's brother and knows Finn. Thus, it is someone both we as viewers and Hollis knew. Poppy versus Sheila, motive versus opportunity, who done it? We observed Hollis sipping from a little, distinctive white bottle of some sort. It's possible that the individual entered the restaurant to get takeout, dosed Hollis' drink, and left. After the offender had left the pizza establishment, Hollis passed away. Sheila had the opportunity, but there was no motive to link her to it. Although the two had a small argument in the past, Hollis liked Sheila and she liked him, so even Tom is a reach. He is among the select few who both approve of and are friends with Sheila and Deacon as a couple. He attended their nuptials. Still, Sheila will most likely be arrested nevertheless. This week, Deputy Chief Baker drags her from her house with a thin pretext and brings her downtown for interrogation. Sheila will undoubtedly maintain her innocence, but because Lee and Steffi are both bothering the police officer, the real question is, who done it? Not the who, but why they did it seems quite obvious. We can't be as certain that Poppy is the one behind this as we are that Sheila isn't. Even so, she could have been the one to use some kind of extortion to force Lee to bend the paternity test to suit her needs. If such a cunning individual is indeed responsible for the murder, she is probably the mastermind rather than the assassin. She would be cunning enough to get others to carry out her dirty work, and I doubt that an employee will be found guilty. When B and B can utilize multiple recurrent cast members as scapegoats, why spend it on a contract character? So, Jack is the one who keeps popping up as the murderer. This week, some evidence appears to have vanished, and it appears that this is what forces Baker to take Sheila downtown. All we can do is wait and watch. It may simply be some random stranger we've never met. But we're very sure Hollis was slain to keep the baby daddy's identity a secret from Luna. All that's left to do is determine who would go as far as to kill for Poppy and why. This is all we have for you today. Come back for more spoilers and predictions.